So most parents try to protect their kids at all costs. So we don't let them pet strange, aggressive dogs. Most parents don't let their kids jump into a pool or go to the beach without a life vest on if they're not really proficient at swimming. And we don't let kids stick forks into light sockets. There's just things that we just don't do. And we're pretty good at protecting kids' physical safety, but what about their mental health? And do these things damage kids emotionally?
To say that coming from a person who dressed like this and is a drag queen, you would think that they would have knowledge about what's going on in the community, and they are even opposed to what's going on with children being in these drag shows. I don't have to say it, because when I say it, y'all call me all kind of names and I'm bigoted. I'm a sellout, cool Uncle Tom working for the white man. But when a person who's a drag queen say that you shouldn't have your kids at a drag queen thing, y'all should be listening to them. Roll the clip.
I have a message for you parents out there who bring your kids to gay pride and to drag shows and things of that nature. Can you please leave your children at home? Can you please? Because you guys are making us look really bad. You exploit us by using us to look good to all of your friends on social media.
Yep.
You claim you do this so you could be more inclusive, so you could train your child to be more inclusive. You can teach them to be good, nice, accepting people at home.
This dude is on point. That's exactly why you parents that take your kids to drag shows and these gay pride things are doing it. But these gay pride shows, these gay shows and these drag queen shows, it's all of a sexual nature. All of it. And kids aren't ready for that. Human beings' brains don't typically finish forming until they're about 25 years old, give or take a year or two. So your kid at 8 years old, at 4 years old, at 6 years old, they're not ready mentally for this. And you dragging them to this and forcing them to be exposed to it, you think that's okay?
We don't need them in our clubs. We don't need them in our adult spaces. You make us look bad in the end.
Yes, you do.
So why don't you get your kids together? Why don't you read them a book? Why don't you dress up with them? Why don't you put them in theater? Why don't you do something else other than dress them up in little rainbow ribbons and unicorn shirts and then bring them over to gay spaces where me as a gay man who wants to sit there and have a decent, nice brunch and have bottomless mimosas, I don't want to look at your child. I don't want to hear your child scream. I don't want to hear them cry. And I definitely don't want to see them give a drag queen a dollar bill.
So understand this too. Before you even take your kids over there, not a lot, but some of the drag queens like to go bottomless. And he just affirmed it right there. He wants to drink his mimosa bottomless. So if you're bringing your kid to one of these drag shows and he's got his stuff hanging out, your kid is seeing this. Like, parents who take their kids to sexual shows like this should have their kids taken away. You should have your kids taken away because that's not okay. You do what you want with yourself, but we need to protect our children from things of a nature that would harm them in the future.
For us, okay? There are adult spaces and there are kid spaces.
Right.
Can you please respect our space?
I agree.
Please.
All right. Hey, look. I ain't gotta like everything, but does that make sense to you? It makes sense to me. It makes sense to differentiate between adult spaces and spaces where children are supposed to be at.
I agree.
The problem, ladies and gentlemen, is that sexual immorality has no end. Once you go down one path, it goes to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and before you know it, you are deep dived into sexual immorality that is bottomless.
I agree. And if you want to be a drag queen, bruh, you do you. But parents, if you are taking your kids to these shows, you're only doing it to make yourself look good. And especially the parents who are recording it. If you're recording it and you're posting it online, you're only doing it to look good in front of other parents, in front of your friends. You're not doing it because it's going to culturally benefit your children. It's not. There's nothing that a drag queen can do to make themselves, to justify you taking somebody to a show like that. It's all of a sexual nature and it's ridiculous. You can take them anywhere to teach your kid to dance. Doesn't have to be somewhere where somebody's walking around with their junk out.
So I have a question. There was an event in Dallas called Drag the Kids to Pride, hosted at a gay bar. My question is this: did it not strike a single adult that perhaps taking children under the age of 10, which is showcased in this video, to a gay bar to watch a person, regardless of what or who that person identifies as, shake their ass and then pose in front of neon signs that say it's not gonna lick itself? Did it not strike a single adult as perhaps this is inappropriate?
Beauty pageants for little girls is bad, but drag shows for little boys is okay?
Welcome to the Pink Palace, my lovely friends.
I first discovered drag at 13. I didn't know what it was.
Well, anything to make $1, boy. Anything to make $1.
What in the hell has a drag queen ever done to make you have so much respect for them and admire them so much? Other than put on makeup and jump on the floor and writhe around and do sexual things on stage. I have absolutely no idea why you would want that to influence your child. Would you want a stripper or a porn star to influence your child? It makes no sense at all.
I agree. 130,000% agree. It's drag queens are along those lines of a stripper and a porn star. They're along the same lines. If you took your kids to a stripper bar, you would probably have your kids taken away. And this should be right along the same lines. Parents, stop doing this. Stop trying to be so inclusive that you are going to damage your children in the future. Stop it.